morning to all those who have been blessed to wake up this beautiful morning. Peace and blessings to all those who are tuning in. My name is Albert Knoblack. I am the author of the Legacy Protection Act, the real solution to America's watered down culture. Today, we will be diving into chapter 2. I ask that all those tuning in, those of the black and brown communities, those who live in communities that are in poverty, are in lack of something financially, spiritually, I ask that you tune in to every word that is said in this chapter. This chapter means a lot. Chapter 2: The History of Life Insurance and Its Racial Roots. The Origins of Life Insurance in America. Life insurance in its earliest forms traces back to ancient societies, from Roman burial clubs to African ancestral societies. People found ways to collectively prepare for death. In early America, however, insurance became formalized through European settlers, who primarily used it to protect shipping cargo, property, and profits, not people. It wasn't until the 18th century that life insurance policies became more common in the colonies, first for white men of wealth and later extended narrowly to others. In black communities, it was often the church or fraternal groups who stepped in, creating burial clubs and mutual aid networks to help families honor their dead with dignity. Bodies as property, life insurance, and slavery. One of the most disturbing truths about the roots of life insurance in America is that enslaved Africans were insured, not for their lives, but for their value as property. Slave owners routinely purchased policies on the enslaved, protecting themselves against financial loss should these people die. Companies like Aetna, New York Life, and others have historically records showing they underwrote such policies. These companies paid out claims not to families but to enslavers. Bodies as cargo, the Zone Massacre, and the Atlantic Atrocity. In 1781, one of the most horrifying insurance cases in history occurred aboard the British slave ship, the Zone. Facing navigation errors and a lack of water, the crew threw more than 130 enslaved Africans overboard, alive, so they could file an insurance claim for the lost cargo. This wasn't an isolated case. Maritime insurance policies often listed enslaved humans as goods or freight. Courts of the time did not address morality or murder, only the contractual obligation to pay. It became clear black death was profitable. Black life was not protected. Post-slavery, the Great Divide and Protection. After emancipation, black Americans were legally free, but economically unprotected. Many insurance companies either outright denied coverage to black applicants or created separate inferior policies. These substandard policies came with higher premiums and lower death benefits. While white families used life insurance to build intergenerational wealth, most black families could only afford small burial policies, just enough to bury their loved ones, but never enough to leave a legacy. This practice widened the racial wealth gap and instilled a cultural belief that insurance was out of reach or not for us. The rise of black-owned insurance companies. In the face of exclusion, black entrepreneurs rose up and built institutions to serve their own communities. Companies like North Carolina Mutual Life and Atlanta Life Insurance became lifelines for Black families. They not only provided burial and life policies, but supported schools, businesses, and civil rights movements. These companies became pillars of Black empowerment and pride, proof that self-reliance was possible, even under oppression. The fall of Black-owned insurance powerhouses. Despite their success, many Black-owned insurers struggle to compete against massive white-owned firms backed by Wall Street, capital, lobbying power, and nationwide reach. Lack of access to large capital reserves, government contracts, and advertising platforms slowly push many of these historic institutions into bankruptcy or buyouts. The fall of these companies was not due to incompetence. It was the inevitable result of an uneven playing field and systemic disadvantage in a market that values scale over service. Modern inequities in life insurance. Even today, disparities persist. Black Americans are more likely to be uninsured or underinsured. Policies issued to Black families are often smaller in size, and many people still report confusion, mistrust, or misinformation around how life insurance works. Some major companies have publicly acknowledged their ties to slavery and apologized. But apologies without reparative action do not restore what was stolen or protect what still remains vulnerable. Why? This history still matters. This is more than just history, it's the root of a mindset. A system that once profited off our death now profits off our ignorance. Families don't plan because they don't understand the power of the tool they were once denied. The Legacy Protection Act is more than a policy, it's restoration. It's about rewriting the narrative. It's about ensuring every child is protected, every legacy is planned, and every community has access to what was once kept from them. Quote, they insured our deaths before they protected our lives. Now we ensure our legacy because no child should inherit trauma when they could inherit a plan. Prayer. God of justice and remembrance, we acknowledge the wounds that history has buried, the profits made from our pain, the policies written to preserve property, but not people. Today we reclaim what was once denied, the right to plan, the right to protect, the right to pass down peace. Heal the legacy of abandonment, uplift the buried stories of those who were silenced. Let this chapter be a mirror and a movement, a commitment to never again leave our families uncovered. May truth rise where injustice once reigned, and may our future be guarded by the wisdom of this past. Amen. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you all. Have a great day. Be productive, smile, walk with purpose, and be kind. Thank you.